Whew. What's going on? Enablers are winning. They're winning. They're winning. Yes, I had to come with a blog stream with y'all. And I'm just saying, man, you got women, females, right? So called women, but females got in these dudes' heads and they came back, especially the real ones. So called red pill spaces, I try to tell you it's a bygone age. It's the past. But enablers will always defend them because shouts out to Epsilon Bianchi. He know the history. He know the history. These niggas done fell off, man. Like this goes back to 2015 where they came from. It was that 2.0 plagiarist, they would say. That's what I think Complex said that. He had a stream about that talking about uh the emperor of the Igmore clan, that bitch ass nigga I don't fuck with. And he mentioned a lot of hoe ass niggas on his title. And I didn't watch this shit. Shots of the complex anyway. But I didn't mention those niggas in this because I didn't want to go watch that shit or record. I'm just being honest. I was minding my own business and see what the drama was about. I'm focused on other shit. But I did post the Endo's Vow. I'm gonna continue that history a little bit further and explain why that's not the most talked about. Then I'll do a part 2 next Wednesday. I just dropped a recording. Y'all check it out on Wednesday night around 8:15, same time as always. I told you I don't do Wednesday streams no more because I best to do them pre-record. Since I got a pre-recorded stream deck or whatever you want to call it, a recorder, a little software, I'm gonna deal with that. I said, this will work. Can't do that with StreamYards. I said, nah, StreamYards, that's for special streams only. But niggas let enablers get in their heads, man, especially the ones that likes to get abused. And these dudes ain't saying nothing, but they're pushing it. Now, Nate is correct. Now, first he tried to say the men support KS. Technically, they didn't. He was clowning them until he started talking bad about the females, and they thinking about it, and they say they got all this mind right in their head together, right? But why you keep going back to him? And Nate's right. That's enabler. You watch them because you like the drama. That's your damn problem. You like to be entertained. If they was really so smart, why they like to be entertained? So, and I'll tell you why. They're enablers. They enable them to do that shit. That's why there will never be no correction. See, a woman can't correct the man. We do it by physical harm. That's how we get correction going. If you go by the scripture, that's the way it's supposed to be. Because see, every man deals with action, especially black men. You can't talk to him. You can't argue. No, you got to deal with action. You got to show him. And I learned that as a young age, especially in my 20s. You had to. I broke a man's jaw once. I had to show him. He tried coming from me, trying to argue and push, and I struck him. This is when I was on medication. Then I got off of it at 23, but I was depressed at the time with my grandmother. I told y'all that story. I struck that bitch ass nigga, man. It was a violent punch, and this was off Marietta Road, where I used to work out there in those factories. Man, I crushed that nigga, man, for real. Everybody know about it from down there in Atlanta. They know about it. I live somewhere else now. I don't live in Atlanta anymore. I'm outskirts. I live in Cobb County, but that's a whole nother stuff. Yeah, I crushed that nigga, man. Like my knuckle game is tight, especially. Yeah, man. Like I ain't one of these niggas on the internet. No, you get killed out here. Niggas kill you for less out here. They'll blow your brains out down here. This is the cemetery. Yeah, it's been trash. It's been trash since before the pandemic. Yeah, I left that shit in 2019. It was decent prior to hell. Atlanta was good when I first came in '07. And around 2012, it was decent. Even when the parades were great. After that, it went downhill. 2019, it was something. Like I was tired of it. I was trying to move out, because the rent was high in West Pacers and things like that. But when I come up here, it's reasonable. But yeah, it's a lot of bitch ass. You always have bitch ass niggas everywhere in every city in the East Coast. But Atlanta, you can, say you can't find hoes. Yes, you can. You just gotta go outside the counties. And they try to say, what about the gay people? Midtown. I told you where it is. Midtown. They kill each other. They blow each other's brains out every day. They did that in 2010 when I first started living here. I didn't know that was going on. And they do die in drunk accidents. They have the highest death rate than straight people. Straight people die for bullets, robbery, trees. Yeah. Niggas die from trees. Niggas die from trees. When trees was leaning in those areas in Fulton County, they don't tell you that in Buckhead. That be leaning, that's old. People drive under there. That trees crush their damn car and kill them. They die from trees and shit. That's why they diss Atlanta so much. It's more than just they diss you because of the damn trees in the state of Georgia. You cut a tree, you got to pay for that. Ain't that some retarded shit? But see, where I'm from originally, Tennessee, they cut trees all the time. It's stupid. If they overgrown, like, you cut that shit down by law. That's why Georgia's so dumb, like the East Coast. Like, they don't represent the South. Most Southerners look at them as the East Coast, quiet as kept. See, New York niggas don't understand. Half of the South is divided. They don't respect Georgia on that level. They treat y'all, we treat them like New York niggas. That's how we treat them. That's quiet as kept. Every Southern state treat Georgia like New York niggas because there's a lot of y'all down here. A lot of people from a lot of people from Jersey, the Boston area. Man, they ruined that. Atlanta wasn't always like that. Prior to that, it was people from the Midwest like Michigan, Detroit. Everybody been coming down. Tennessee, all the southern states rep it what it was back then before Freaknik. It was something until that 90s shit came and kind of early 90s was decent. But then somewhere around that Olympic shit and then after it got worse. The drugs got worse. It was the hood. You got all that. You know, I studied history. I've been in Atlanta like 3 times in 3 different years. 93 was the hottest year, whatever. What's going on, degenerate? That was probably the best summer. It was hot and I got used to it. I was like 5 at the time. And then somewhere around 98, it was still the same. Old Braves, Turner Field, I've been out there. And then 2007, when I was trying to move down here, it was some opportunity. And the tax was still very low. It still is today. It's just the inflation didn't even hurt its taxes. People still don't pay taxes. They still got 501(c)(3) charters, but them church was living off them fucking charter Masonic money. They control that shit. That's why Atlanta's the way it is. It's corrupt, but they do control that. And the law enforcement is still the fucking same. You know, they haven't changed. Black or white, they still corrupt. It's about that money. Georgia's trying to change that in the future, but that's gonna be hard. You got a lot of East Coast niggas coming down here, and people from overseas want to live in Georgia. Like today, live in Georgia. Bullshit, businesses, tech. They try and get that tech money. You got a lot of Asians down here, no matter what part of Asia you're from. You're from Singapore, Japan, whatever. You gonna get that support. That's just the truth. I've yet to see one person claiming nobody wants to come here. I'm just telling it like it is, and Nate is correct. A lot of people are cowards from up north, want to live down the south, and the white man got y'all fooling, and he's correct. I've been saying that for like prior to coming down here. What is up with that? And it's a lot of corruption where they come from. In New York, niggas tell me all the time when I used to be a barista, and they told me, he said, man, it's them laws, man, them housing, and they try to, you know, they've been gentrified all over America. Let's just keep it clear. What I'm saying right now, everybody's been gentrified. I seen that as a kid in the late 90s and the early 2000s. They was doing that in Tennessee. In certain parts of the neighborhood, they was knocking homes down. They did that in Georgia. They did that up there in New York. They do that everywhere. They do it in Baltimore. What they're doing is assimilating everybody. They've been doing this since the 60s. What they was doing then, now they're doing now. They've been doing it. It's just gotten worse. They try to put everybody in this technological space in that sphere, and they just put it into one. So people be isolated on top of each other. Everybody's on top of each other in Atlanta. That's why I don't live there no more. It's a mess. Pandemic made it worse. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not it's the money, it's the cheap rent. I can say it's business, but if you already established here, you get that plug, you get opportunities, Midwest and Mid-South. You can thrive here as a They drill music bullshit. I thought that story that Cottonmouth Jesse interview based off that. They said those cities are thriving based off that in other areas too, entertainment, movies. If you want to go out in LA, this is the place to do it and then bounce your career off, whatever. You don't have to do that. You can do other jobs and be thriving. People work in Georgia all the time. They still got a job. Even in crisis, this state is known for that historically. If you go further back in the day, when I talked about Black Georgia, they've been having jobs. I try to tell you, people look at Georgia as one of 13 colonies, but it's still considered the East Coast and the Southeast. So Georgia has a history of that. Carolinas have a history of that, but not the level Georgia has. Georgia's got they control the water resource. They control reservoirs here. Alabama ain't getting no water. Georgia has a lot of corruption problems as a state. That's why it's like that. It's isolated like everybody else. I'm trying to tell you, if they have a wasteland story, Georgia's gonna isolate everybody. It's kind of like when you have those people from Jersey, New York supporting it. In the 80s, the homes was good. Star said it. Yeah. People came here since the 80s. When they didn't focus on Atlanta, they said the rest of Georgia's okay. It's just Atlanta's just corrupt. But Georgia could be fixable. You know, there's and they'll thrive this shit. Tired of New York, whatever. But I never understood why the original Atlantis don't like Atlanta, and I know why. It's a lot of corruption and bitch ass people. Because in New York, so too. Nate's figuring it out. This is not a Southern thing. This is a nigga problem. Fallen Bros, aka Password, that's a nigga problem. You just can't get laid. You're gonna start seeing it. It's not a regional thing. This is a problem worldwide. And then you got them niggas overseas, Brazil, looking at them niggas, and if that shit changes based on 2024, they're gonna stop killing niggas for certain reasons. And you got P-files back this shit. And there's a reason why the world's fucked up the way it is, because we're in a wasteland culture. It's coming. You know, the nuclear, I told y'all what 2024 is gonna be. It's gonna be a world of cash. And I'm glad I did the stream today, because I could have said fuck it, but Independent Thinking Series tomorrow, that'll be a stream I will do, not tomorrow, but next Tuesday. I'll do that next Tuesday. And I'll try my best to do that one as much as I can. But that series is no joke. That series is no joke, because we're going to talk about extensively with that series. I'm going to keep pushing that and make it regular. And it might change the day of the week. You know what I'm saying? I might do that and do outside streams like this on every Tuesday, because instead of usually be Tuesdays and Monday, I may change it and pick a spot for it. I may pick a spot for it Friday. I may pick a spot for Friday, because I may do that. I may do that. I may do that. Because this is something to talk about. Like, a lot of those fallen bro niggas, they said they all come all from everywhere. They don't have to be from just Georgia, you know, Atlanta. No, I believe they come from other parts of the US and the rest of the world. And yes, it's a nigga problem. That's what they look at, but 95% of the time, it's the majority I've seen is on the East Coast and some of the West Coast. So if the guy was saying it, shouts out to Nate for that, that's the truth. And Nate's seeing the big picture. He's seeing the big picture of what's going on. But see, this is PPT. He's worrying about Ladyboy Central. He's not realizing his error of his ways. You live out there, but he said he's gonna move and live, and he has to go back to DC, whatever. Ain't no telling his future. He's out minding my own business. Nah, nigga, you did that straight. Everybody's on your head, man. But shouts out to APT, man. Like, hey, keep doing your thing. It's entertaining, man. Like I told you, man. These dudes fell off, man. That's 3 years ago that they still talking about. I'm not talking about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was a panelist. 2 years ago, I just came back doing content. And last year was a totally different thing. I made a pre-record switch, and that was my thing. I'm doing it now and just doing less live streams. Talk about different things, what's going on in politics, especially in 2024. So they got your boy Tate, and that's serious. I mean, he ain't getting out. That's it for you niggas. I mean, what they did to Kevin, y'all next. Y'all not coming back from this shit. because 2024 is gonna be a strange year. We don't know who's gonna be president and who's gonna do time with this YouTube shit. YouTube ain't gonna last forever. I'll tell you that right now. For Muay Thai, and they haven't heard him bring up Muay Thai in a while. Nah, he's a clown. But he get what he get. Once you get locked up like that and play with that human trafficking shit, they try to call it. It's no such thing as sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is just another name for human trafficking. It's nothing sexual about that shit. You put them people that don't will probably did it with kids. We don't know if he had children at gunpoint. That's human trafficking. That's smuggling people. They used to call people smuggling back in the day. They used to call it people smuggling. That's what they told me when I was a kid. But then over time, the correct term they said human trafficking. It's still called human trafficking. Sex trafficking is just a distraction to fuck your head up. They don't teach you the real shit. It's human trafficking. I don't care if it's sexual or non-sexual. It is human trafficking. I wish people stop calling it sex trafficking. It ain't nothing sexual about that. It's not a sex trade. It's not even real. It's human trafficking. They beat them to death and that's it. They probably vape them and all this other shit, stab them and whatever, and shoot them. They kill them. They put them in perishable goods or non-perishable goods. They travel overseas. This is what I'm talking about. And they've been doing it. And they traffic lady boys. Quiet as kept. Those countries co-sign that. China and all them other countries are finito. They boo-boo. Nobody respects China and Thailand. That's lady boy culture. Because they all represent Buddhism. Buddhism or Buddhist or whatever you want to call it, they support that. And there's a reason why it ain't going nowhere. And they said, niggas, if you love our religion, they bowing down to that shit. Yeah. Shouts out to General. Yeah. It don't matter. That Muay Thai shit don't mean nothing. He's still a fucking clown. He ain't saying nothing to help the men at this point. He's a fucking fuck him and fuck the rest of them. Like, I'm sorry, his followers are delusional. He don't care about none of y'all. He care about himself. Y'all gonna see these dudes are not gonna last. Anything right wing, extreme, fascist behavior, corporate behavior. It's a war between two powers killing each other. That's what y'all seeing. It's a wasteland culture. We're here. So North Korea is getting their nukes up. They're practicing warfare tactics. They try to say China in America. A lot of people think that's a beef. That is not a beef. I don't want to say they suck each other's dicks off, but that's what they're doing because they're controlled by the Masonic order, by the Jesuits. But we ain't gonna get into that in the EWs. Esau. We're just gonna say Esau at this point. Two of the same groups. Just don't fall for it. And they play both sides. China's just a puppet. He said, I was talking about a CUDA. Oh, yeah, CUDA, man, Mr. PPT, he's okay. His issue is he's in Ladyboy Central. I can't help the man. Like, your boy Austin's over there. Yeah, but them niggas are supporting that y'all done. And he don't even talk about where he's at now. See, no, nigga, you talk about the passport, everybody's on your head. And that's forever, nigga. You can't take that back. Once it's on the internet, it's forever. He called him Barracuda. Yeah, Cuda's not. Nobody caring about what he's saying right now because of that shit with Red. That's all they want to see. Niggas is delusional. See, they let enablers are winning. See, they enable you to talk about them. And what they're doing is she's doing what she's supposed to do. This is YouTube. Some people like educational stuff. Most people like to be entertained. You can do both. But Kuda doesn't understand that's a chess game. A woman's gonna run her mouth regardless. She's gonna have male support. So it's like really in reverse. They try to say mastery is supported by men. No, they support by these enabling women that want some. Like shout out to the billionaire mindset again, aka Asking Thing formerly. That's his old shit, but he always had that concept. And he said the same women he tried to help, they love to be enabled. So that right there, they enables them to push their content. That's why they get the views, the likes. You know why? Because of these sorry so-called females. I mean, so-called women, excuse me, so-called women. They're females, but they're sorry so-called women. They're not real women. They fake. They look average. They look like these dudes, and it's just what it is. Then they get upset, try to bait you to argue with them. See, I never argued with them 3 years ago. 2 years, I never did non panels. They tried that. Cat tried that shit and didn't work. Her drunk ass or whatever is doing her thing. I respectfully let her be who she is. Red has a weird way of doing things. I said that on my last of this stream. I said Red was decent at first, peaceful. Came on Kuda's panel. This is 2 years ago. After that, no, she ain't. She's desperate for some dick the whole time. I tried to tell you what Cat was. She cried when the general cooked her ass. I was there on the panel with him. He has never entertained Red, knowing that she is a chaotic neutral character, aka troll. Yeah, yeah. She always been that. But the thing about her is you gotta understand, Red's calculated. She's peaceful and cool when I first heard her on the panel and met her. The second I know she did some flip flop shit, typical woman shit, because she was one of them. At first, I didn't know what type of female she was or woman she was. And then I said, oh, she like that. She like the bullshit. She like platinum. And then she was talking shit to these dudes. And I knew what she was on. And then I said, I respect it though. She's honest with it. She give me something to work with. Yeah, she's been on her panels a bunch of times, like 4 or 5 times, and then helped build the channel. She's entertaining. Don't get me wrong. She does good with those gaming streams and all that. She can balance it out. If I was her, you can do the bullshit, talk about these OS niggas, and then do that. Balance it out. Have a variety. The thing about YouTube, you gotta have variety. That's the secret. That's why my shit is variety. You have to have something like that. Have two audiences, and then you're supporting your females. But I don't want to call it enable, but she likes to enable the job. That's her thing. She likes to. Her enabling is not as bad. It's called trolling enabling. Soft trolling is what she's doing in a different way. She enables the niggas to get upset, but her job is it's called soft troll. See, when you soft troll Mr. PPT, aka the god of gamism, Kuda, you already got him psychologically. It's like you putting a gun to his head. He don't know what's going on. I do soft trolling. I live for that. If you say something dumb, I'm gonna talk about you. I can name flip you and insult your name, and then everybody, content creator gets triggered if you insult his name. I did that with Fantastic. I call him Fit Nelly for a reason. He thought he was the mob boss. Big up shit. I'm the gorilla. And MOT, call him three. They don't like that. They had to block my ass. They said this he's insulting me. They take this shit serious. I don't take this YouTube shit serious. I laugh at this shit and get them triggered. It kills them every time. Yeah, I don't either. He said, "Cool, cool. Yeah, I don't, and that's my whole purpose on YouTube. This ain't a dating app to me. This is a hobby. What I do. These hoes and these females, I don't care for none of them. I just let them be who they are. They enablers deep down because they want the bullshit. They want us to kill each other. And that ain't happening. I learned that lesson when I was in my early 20s. That ain't going fly here because I already know how niggas is. They ruined YouTube a long time ago. It ain't what it used to be. She got back with that dude Octavius. I don't know about Octavius. Yeah, he's another clown. I don't fuck with. I thought Kat was cool at first, but she was cool. She just had problems. She wanted some dick in the day. That was her problem. She was trying to fill on me. Definitely her deleting her channel was a good thing. Yeah, she's gonna end up being a panelist. She had a channel. I'll subscribe to it, but I can't believe she deleted. Wow. Sexy Red TV starting another channel. Oh, she's got another channel. She's got that one. She's got, and she already got one. She just needed to put some content on that one, and then she start another one. That's a good thing. But she got three. I recommend get that other channel that popping and keep that one just to destroy the niggas. No, she started on space. Okay, good. You nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That's what Cynthia G did. Took the talking points. Yeah, it is. It's a hobby. That's what I use this shit as a hobby. My history streams, that's for certain people that get that type of knowledge and do their own research and then come back and quote me on it and show me something different, educate me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's for my subscribers only that wants that type of knowledge. And then let's have a discussion about it. And then that's the whole purpose of my historical shit. Shouts out to the brother that posts that website so I can use it to teach people these coaches did exist, and y'all hear this basic shit from Esau and all that, and counter it. Answer that. I got pictures, bone structures, I got all that shit. Especially my old videos. Y'all can watch that shit. That was my whole purpose for this channel, to counter that shit. Because prior to that, I was into that entertainment shit. Don't get me wrong. YouTube was entertainment began, the comedic, music, all that. I was into that. I couldn't make myself an entertainer. I tried that. It was gonna work, but I ain't had the beats back then. I would love to, but I love the music. Comedy was my thing too, and soft trolling as well. I was into that shit in '09 when I had Moco Space with my ex. She got me hooked onto it early '09. Oh my goodness, man. I was hell. I had a troll account called Legendary Dark Knight Sparta and off of DMC, like the Devil May Cry series. Man, they got on my ass and they kept fucking with me, and I had to delete that shit, man. Like it was a good minute. I had it for months. I cut that shit out because that was my style of trolling. I sounded so evil and so-called demonic back then. I was saying, this is when I was leaving Christianity at the time. Boy, I was a beast on it in them chat rooms. I was in the East Coast chat room before they made the Atlanta chat room years later. Vocal Space is okay, but it's mediocre at best. They try to compete with MySpace, but it didn't live up to what it should be. But that's a whole nother story on that. Vocal Space is gonna be Vocal Space. But, I hardly ever get into it now. Twitter, I joined that later, 2012. And this channel was created 2012. This is like my second channel. I'm keeping this one just for safekeeping. If I want another channel, it's going to be a little different if I wanted to, but I don't want to stay on YouTube forever. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is just one vein. Gotta have a studio if I was thinking about another channel. That I'm thinking about it, but I'm not for YouTube. I'll think about Rumble or something like that because Rumble's kind of promising. But yeah, I had to talk about this today, man. Let's see. Best lemonade. She's showing less. Yeah, girl, they just want that pussy. I was looking at somebody's little tweets. Girl, they just want that pussy. They want to beat that monkey up. That's what they want. You ain't showing that. They done seen it. These hoes on they ain't in Reddit, in Hampshire, they everywhere. On them porn sites. That's what you got on YouTube. There's a bunch of whores on there, and they laughing at dudes like Kuda and them. See, I try to tell Kuda, them hoes don't care nothing about you, about those microphones. They just laugh at you. Red's different. Y'all can say she's this and this. That's cool. But she finessed that nigga, man. Like, I would never help a female out. Now, I'll help her get some subscribers. I'll share it if her channel's decent. That's it. But he went to extra mile. That dude, it's a lot of things they got on files on this nigga. So he better be careful. He showed too much. He speak too much. That's why people attack him so much. I studied this man probably 2 years ago, what his channel's about. His channel is decent. And his biggest problem is it's not just anger man. Anger man, that's one problem. That's holding him back. That's probably the third thing that's holding him back. The second thing that's holding him back is he's got the gear and all that. We respect that. It's the second thing that's holding him back. He prophesied some shit that doesn't matter, man. Like, you trying to protect a space that's been dead since a long time, especially to 2020. Them niggas knew it was dead. The older people that used to be a part of Manosphere, they knew this shit died 3 years ago. Kevin killed it. You niggas co-signed it and you killed it. And the number one thing that's really holding back for his potential is he's got too many people in his ear. He's got too many enablers in his ear. He's got a lot of whores in the chat room that I don't give two shits about. But it's killing him right now. He's in ladyboy land, and that's not helping his cause because he's got some loyal people that subscribe, but he's got a lot of people in his ears not telling him the right thing. He's you're younger than I am, and he should be smarter than that. At that age, you're supposed to be smart. You're supposed to be successful. You're supposed to be like these rap stars you claim you're supposed to be. That he's a rapper. He was before he was a DJ. Looked like DJ Academics in the face, but he'd be the DJ Academics of that sphere, right? They have the same cadence. The only difference is he plays a lot of music. Academics just runs his damn mouth and show music time to time. They both have similarities, but that's just what I think of Kuda. But Kuda has his own superstar. If he really want to do that, he should go against the guys that he's competing against. See, so-called Mr. Sharp, not so sharp, is his idol. That's what's holding him back. That's the number one thing holding him back is these idols. And they don't give nothing about this thing. They don't even respect this nigga. The so-called white manosphere don't respect him. Like, let's just keep it real. They don't respect dudes like that. If he's on that PUA pickup artist shit, that's what's really holding him back. Because he believes in that pickup artist. That's his weakness. And I believe the reason why 3 Syllables and Mr. Fidnell, aka MOT, and Mr. Fantastic, that's who I'm talking about. The reason they beef with him is he's a pickup artist. They thought a pickup artist was a pimp and a player. No, they're not. 95% of them are tricks. I'll tell you a secret, they're tricks. I'm not saying Kuda's a trick, but he has trick followers and they support and all that. He said there is such thing. I'll never forget. He said this 2 years ago. He said there is such thing as trick game. And when he said trick game, I asked him, why you say tricks got game? They have game. And he's trying to break it down to me. He said they have game because they know how to. He should have said finesse, but he didn't go into detail. And I said trick game. I never heard of such. The tricks just didn't give a fuck. The tricks that I remember growing up, and my uncles that were players, they said they just throw out money, didn't give a fuck. It was reckless and abandonment. They didn't need no game. Now some did. That was both. They played both sides. The in betweeners. They didn't last long either. They had to pick a side in the day because eventually they went crazy. But that's what a trick is to me, or simp. They really simp Steve down because they begging for pussy. I don't have to do all that. I've seen that. Oh man. But that's what pickup artists is. Most of them are on the T side and they support this fallen bro shit. That's why a lot of official niggas look at them players, they look down on them. Like Nate. See, Nate's a player. You can tell in his voice, Nate has that swag and that play. When he talks that player shit to you, I've seen this all over the US, especially up north. They tell you about it if you from down here in the East Coast, wherever. And where I'm from, players is different. They talk different. Every player is different around the world. And they let you know it's a small fraction of them. They know how to get women. I had cousins like that. They said, look here, cuz this is why, I show you my bitches, blah, blah, blah. They was on that type of time. But you got Kuda use that shit, but know damn well that everybody knows he's a pickup artist. And a lot of people say, oh, I hate the game. No, you hate the pickup artist. Stop saying game versus not. It doesn't fucking exist. That's a smoke screen. Y'all hate him because he's a pickup artist. And I'm gonna let y'all know why, because I understand why y'all hate pickup artists, because they don't give you the truth about game. Game is nothing but finesse. If you finesse a bitch out of them panties and learn to talk a certain way, if you have that aura about you, the bitch is gonna drop it on you. I know for a fact. And I know this back in the day because I used to do some shit like that in high school. I had some cousins that was players, and some of them were. I have an uncle that was a pimp that did that shit. I know what pimping is and play is. Who has it? And the gangsters that gang bang my cousins, they had all the pussy. I'm sorry. Everybody's sharing that room. They control that shit, and bitches control that shit. They say, hey, that's their thing. But he's not telling you the truth about that because he's telling you to pick up artist nonsense in the book. Yeah, it's manipulation. It's called finesse. Yeah, that's just another name for it. It's the keywords for it. He hated when I said this on the panel 2 years ago. I said, if you have it, if you don't. He hated that saying. You know why? He showed his hand that he's a pickup artist. That's what he believes in. I can't call him the game guy. Now, I call him the god of gameism based off Manosphere. It's trolling nickname, right? but he's not that dude, man. Like, I don't picture him as that. See, the reason I don't have conversation with him about that because I know more about that shit than he do because I have family members and friends co-sign that shit. People I used to hang with that was about that shit. Okay, it's a lot I could say about what he's doing wrong. I would never promote that on as a content creator. What's holding him back? He is a pickup artist. He believes in those books, and that's their biggest strength is those books. But their weakness is it doesn't work in realistically in real life. It's fake. That's why a lot of guys like Nate will shit on him because he'll eat them alive, man. Players look down on shit like that. Real ones that look at that shit, that's some weirdo shit, man. And do you got women players look down? Absolutely. That's why they're attacking him. If you notice on panels that these bitches come from different spaces, but they know about that shit more than he do, and he gets constantly attacked. There's a reason for that. He has a pattern. I seen this on one of his old streams. They were peaceful, decent, entertaining. He did his music. You know, he say he's a DJ, but it's always some nigga shit. And I never understood why they're attacking him. He's a pickup artist. And I think they know. They said, this nigga's a pickup artist. He ain't teaching me the finessing out of my pants. And they know. Them hoes know, man. They know everything about you. So he has to be careful, man. You put yourself out there. He ain't put all his effort he say, but you're putting yourself out there. Everybody know who you are. If you're from DC, they know who you are. One bitch gonna slip up and don't give a fuck about you and troll your ass, and they'll do some shit like that. I've seen that happen on YouTube for years. So I've been around. I understand what happens to people that try to claim that shit. It doesn't work. That pickup artistry's been dead for a long time. That's what these mainstream manosphere nuts is pushing. It doesn't work. Go outside and talk to a fucking bitch. Talk to a female. It's worth it. You'll get some or not. That's just how it is. You gotta have it though. You gotta have it. That's how they look at you. They don't respect them because number one, I told him this 2 years ago that shit is obvious. I see why. You can say they fans, Cuda, but they don't fuck with your ass like belong with. I mess with him as a content creator. That's why I'm subscribed to his channel, and I appreciate what he does. Like he gives you some tidbits on tech. I give him that. He's in the media. He says, "See, I pay attention to what he says. I don't fall for the PPT isms. I don't fall. No, 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 no. I don't fall for that. No, 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 no. I go for the meat source, what he's really talking about. And then I look at his content, what it is, and I just fall back and I just let him have it, you know, because I know he's trying to do, but he has that pickup artistry in him. He can't help that. That's his biggest weakness. It's holding him back. And a lot of people say it ain't holding back. Yes, it is. That's why he's not growing. He's growing a little bit, but he's not actually growing at a peak. He's not getting 5,000 like Ramil and all that. And there's a reason for that because he's a pickup artist. Ramil don't fuck with that pickup artist shit. He talked about the game, but let me tell you a secret about him. They play up to the Ramil. The niggas that side Ramil, they play up to him. I told Kuda he's different. He's reformed, but he knows about that. That's why he looked down on them niggas. He talked bad about things in front of y'all's faces. Ramil figured it out. Yeah, he had issues with Angry Man. He didn't want to say it. But we ain't gonna get into Ty City. That's all another stuff. But shouts out to Ty City. He doing his thing with the underground. I leave Ty City alone. Y'all can have beef with Ty. I don't care for that. Ty is Ty. Ty ain't bothering nobody. Y'all just mad because Ty does things different. He may come off as crazy, but he's not. He's got info. He just don't want to. He ain't. See, he don't want to argue. He's got a family to raise. He ain't got time for y'all's little bullshit. But Kuda is Mr. PPT. He wants to be a prop so bad of pickup artistry, and I understand it. That's his marketing. That's his pitch. But he idolized Donovan Sharp, so I get it. Oblivion's his boy. He come from that school of thought, so we understand what Kuda comes from in other areas. He say, I pay attention to what he said. He said this shit to me 2 years ago. It's nothing else to talk about because I know what he stands on. I respect it. He came on my shit a bunch of times, but he understands what I'm talking about because he's always gonna have people that hate the pickup artists. He should know that. You know, people's gonna troll him about that. He has to understand. Once you call yourself those things, they got you. That's how niggas say, I got you. and they're gonna go against you. They just like to fuck with you. That's all they do. That's what trolling is. Trolling is it's like a heckler. We fuck with you until you get tired of this shit and then go on. That's what I did with Fantastic. He don't even acknowledge my name no more. He's scared of me because he's a pussy in real life. Because ain't nobody studying Fit Nelly. He getting cooked by Anton. Anton's broke ass. A lot of broke ass niggas on the internet talking about their money, but them niggas is broke. And that Zip destroyed his bitch ass, and I cried too. I cried laughing when he did it. And New York nigga told his ass out the frame. Said, "Get the fuck up out of here, nigga." Exactly. Yeah, Cool and Art said that. Yeah, some people don't have to believe in that. Yeah, Gumby. Yeah, he got many nicknames. He got Gumby. I call him Fit Nelly because he kept talking about that George Floyd shit. If I say that, that nigga starts screaming and then just hop off the panel because of that shit. Because I was right. He don't like that. He don't like when you correct him. He's the type of nigga that always want to. So I'm in his head. To this day, he's traumatized over that shit. That nigga be watching and sneaking, but he's about that. On Tech and Music Network said that player stuff he fails at horribly. Yeah, that's that pickup artist shit. I'm gonna tell you why he does that. He does that for entertainment. Yeah, I got names for all these they clowns, man, because they are who they are on the internet. In person, they ain't built like that. It's just a shame. Shouts out to the billionaire monster again. He's right. These niggas, because I really listened to him years ago, and I was just trolling the whole time in 21. I was on their panels, especially 2020. But I was trying to get back to doing content. These niggas ain't talk about nothing but just talk about these hoes all day. They ain't studying them. Them hoes is laughing at them. They taking all the information and took it. Kevin had female support. He admitted that. Y'all's God admitted that. And look what happened to him. They say he died because no, he died because he was taking those sexual pills and mixing with Red Bull. I don't know that for sure, but I found that out from Billionaire Mindset. He saw someone mention that. And I said, I want to say that Nate, that could be true. We don't know what really happened to him because if he did take those Cialis type pills or whatever, or Viagra, I believe he was mixing with Red Bull because he was weird anyway. He's the same sexual like down here because they do some weird shit like that. I give you a story about Georgian people, period, especially in the Atlanta area. I've seen people take those stuff, and I heard stories in the workplace, and they do drink it with energy drinks. That's deep. That's a Atlanta thing. I've seen people do that in a dealership once. Some crazy shit, crazy shit, crazy shit, crazy shit. But I've seen him do that once. And if he did went out that way, I don't believe he had pussy with that baby. I just don't believe that. A lot of people try to say, "Oh, he died." Charles White was saying that. I said, I don't believe that. I don't believe that because if he was taking that and mixing it with the energy, it's possible. Because I think Billionaire Mindset broke that down, and he heard it from another content creator, broke down, did some information why his death away, and they took him out. It's a good possibility, but Kevin got what he got. He had enabler women on his side. That's how he got those views. That's how he got that million. I told you he was gonna get a million. He could have got more if he was alive, but his lifestyle caught up with him, man. It's just I couldn't support a nigga like that. He had enablers. There's no way in hell to be on his shit and I wouldn't get a word. No. I'm glad I didn't subscribe. I never fuck with him like that. No. He's just another nigga like the rest of these niggas. He said, consider myself a pickup artist. Okay. But I feel it takes more than live streams to show up and show out. If I had the equipment like Kuda, I would just interview mainly women, fine ones too. Yeah, yeah, I could see you do that because since you say you rap, you like smack. I believe you can do something like a smack or hip hop is real. I see Absalon doing that because since you're from the Bronx, I would see you do something like that. Kuda can't never do that. And he say he's from what, DC? We see him a bunch of time in DC, a few streams, like I believe 2 years ago. He's done that, but not enough. See, Absalon can walk around freely, even though it's New York. Yeah, New York can be dangerous, but it's actually a lot safer than other northern states. Let's just keep it real. Pennsylvania is violent; they still shoot each other. Boston's nice, but they still got violence. Boston's an old, classic, violent town. Everywhere can be violent. In the South, you can do that. You just got to pick your spots. There's spots you can do it. There's fine women everywhere. These niggas want to travel for some pussy is ass backwards to me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that. Yeah, and then he's probably mixing it with those Cialis type pills. That's what I heard. I don't know that triggered his heart, but that's some damaging shit because I heard most people don't like to. Not a problem. Most people don't like taking those, and if they have a bad heart, that shit will fuck with your heart rate. Those sex pills are mixing with energy. That's very common, especially down here. The young men are taking it a lot faster. That's why they take those E pills a lot. That's not good, man. That's not good. And if Kevin did went out, like he died young anyway. He didn't die old. He died young. He was in his 50s. It's considered old in younger person says that's 18 and down below, but the elder or the older ones, the eldest, the elders, they'll consider he's fucking young. He's not even 80 or past that. He's a young man that died. He was older. He's an older young man. That's what he was. Yeah, it's a possibility. APT. Yeah, it's just them enablers, man. Like y'all talk about this content, you going where y'all going? But Kuda is pushing the PUAism. I understand why he's doing that. That's a marketing tip, and it's still popular in certain spaces. They don't have to be no man. I've seen it in other areas. They just don't call it pickup artistry no more. They call it something else. It's the same thing. You just pushing it and try to equate that's game. No, it's not. You could call that trick game. And that's what he mean by that. I believe he was talking about pickup artistry, and I was like, wait a minute. Pickup artistry wasn't still great now. It's just I wouldn't call myself pick because that's bad too. A bad name like basic names, and you could tell a person don't have that finesse factor. See, he hated when I said that on his panels 2 years ago, and I was being honest with him. No, you got to have finesse. That pussy comes for. I'm sorry, if you're a player, you're a player. Now he'll try to use analogies for the manosphere and all that. You can't mix the two. Manosphere is on some depressing shit. They supposed to represent MRA, but the 2 point hoe niggas, shouts to the wacky for that legendary wacky hoe for them. They act like hoes because number one, they're supposed to eat MRA and all that shit. MGTOW was new. A lot of people try to say MGTOW. No, MGTOW is very fucking new. 1000. Y'all didn't really get off the ground until probably like 2012. Let's just keep it real. A lot of people try to say they've been around. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I mean, y'all had some theories in 01 and 07. That's true, but y'all wasn't a movement. Stop it. Y'all was not saying it in 01. Y'all was not saying it in 07. You was not saying it in 09. Not when I was no, you didn't exist. Y'all was like a minority. Let me tell you something about MGTOW. MGTOW, when I first heard of it, when this channel was created, Black Pride went in on their ass and called it was gay. And it was in some form or fashion. It was. I hate to say it. That's the biggest criticism I have with it. I mean, they say they men, they say they get pussy like PUA, and we respect that. But most of them go the other way. I'm just telling it like it is. This one gay person support MGTOW. They try to say that ain't true, but it is true. Black Pride destroyed him on his platform in the comment section. And don't quote me on that because I supported Black Pride. He never liked them niggas. I didn't either because some of them is subscribing. My new, he's different. But the ones I'm talking about, it's obvious. They pushed the enabling females that came in those spaces, and I think DS broke down and Absalom broke that. Yeah, he won them. They kept pushing them because women, if you get women support that has that like-mindedness, they go support. That's how Kevin blew up. He figured out two things. If the MGTOW guys don't like me, since they weird as hell, and then the other ones that ain't, and Kevin figured out too, he knew the difference between the two. The ones who were straight, they was players. They did their shit and they ain't studying these hoes. But the ones that cared about them hoes, they was on the I'm sorry, it's just what it is, and they flip-flopped and it became incels. That's how it happened. They create the term incel. I never heard that term until I'll say 2020. 2019, I heard a little bit, but I didn't really start hearing it when I start going these chat rooms. They use the term incel, this and that. I heard that in 2023. Is what the fuck is that? And that shit went crazy. Now it's popularized in this year right now. And the news people said, "What's an incel?" They said involuntary celibacy. What the? I ain't never heard of this stuff. They're calling virgins incels. We just call them virgins back there. We call them incels. What type of fucking term is that? That's that manosphere semi bullshit term that they created. And then MGTOW's been corrupted. It ain't what it used to be. Because MGTOW back then, you had two sides. One was straight, they was for the men, and they didn't bother this culture. And they did their thing. They was in the shadows, what Zero said, right? I remember he said this over at Melody's 3 years ago. I remember everything. And then these bitch ass niggas to complain and claim they MGTOW, a lot of them are gay, like BGS and them. They on that gay shit. Sorry, it's just what it is. Nobody respect them niggas like that. See, that's why it's dead. You want to talk about the man? That's why it's dead, because pedophilia exists, because y'all co-signed it. And that's why the Passport Bros is a ripoff of a mix of incels and everybody else. That's scary. And they're fucked up in the head because they've been abused when they was young, and they bring it online and blame women on their problems. Women ain't even studying your asses. You're not gonna get no pussies for them. Then they try to say, what's that thing y'all used to say back in 2020? Oh, I gotta bring the table. What you bring to the table? We want the woman to come back to the table. Y'all was saying that bullshit. Weirdo shit there. And that's why it exists. And that's why these hoes is laughing hard, enabling, and blowing your brains out long distance. They don't care nothing about you. And Nate said it perfectly. Bunch of weirdos. Yeah, he's a weirdo. He's a joke scholar. He ain't no real scholar. That's a bitch ass nigga that ain't got no life, man. He don't give a fuck about his grandson and his daughters. Fuck that nigga. I'm sorry. Fuck that nigga. All them niggas. Angry. Fuck all them. They ain't about that. These are bitch ass niggas. They ain't got no life, man. All of them need to be in the casket. I'm just being real with you. They ain't about that wasteland culture over here. This is fallout culture over here, nigga. We do this shit over here. We're trying to survive out here. But niggas like Mr. So-called black pill utilitarian motherfucker, a fake nihilist, by the way, claiming he's supreme of the Igmore class. Like, get out of here. Ain't no retrospect. My ass. Nigga, you ain't helping no black man to be retrospective to anything. No matter what race of woman, hoes are hoes. So-called women. I'm not talking about all the good women of all races. I'm talking about the ones that enable you motherfucking niggas. And Nate's right. Enabling whores. They ain't looking like much, but I hate to say, they'll suck a mean dick if you're desperate. These are desperate hoes. They hate you niggas. See, the reason they on your panels, like Concrete, all them, they laughing at you and they promote that. Like Melly, I'll give you an example of Melly Monaco. Last night I was on the stream, I was in the chat room, right? And this girl is decent. Her name is Courtney, but she's a single mom. She got a 4-year-old. That's a red flag. She's still fuckable. But the problem with Melly is she's thirsty for some dick. Now, I don't want to say she's an enabler. She is a little bit. But if you really listen to what she said, them females do not like Melly. They act like they do, but they really mad at her for putting them on the spot. And they don't like these niggas. That's you niggas be on these panels a lot, and these hoes understand what y'all do. They don't study Melly's show off these Instagram. They understand. These hoes understand. They may be dumb as rocks sometimes, but some of them are smart. They understand. I ain't fucking with this shit. Not the quality ones that got, the money. They look at Melly like, Melly, you thirsty. You need to come over here and join with the girl team. and then everybody wants Melly on her shit. MTR had it, and then I don't know if they fuck or whatever, but we ain't gonna get into that. I'll talk about that on Thursday Thrills, what I think about that. I'm gonna speak on that. I ain't gonna speak on it here because, oh man, Melly's thirsty. Let's just keep it real. I mean, she's entertaining, but she's thirsty as hell. Like she tried to act like she ate, and she's giving y'all the pussy, and then men don't want it. The ones that really don't want it in the chat room, but the ones on panels, they desperate, man. I gonna pineapple all these men. No, you ain't. You just want some dick afterwards. That's what you do, Melly. Come on now. You used to live in Georgia. You used to live everywhere else in DC. Now she don't know where she want to live. She's back in LA. She can't make it out there. She's broke and needs some coins. Fellas, which word y'all gonna hit that? Say I. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You know, because most people say they wouldn't hit that. They said she's 6 foot. But Melly, man, you woo. He said BGS is a co-signer. I say, yeah, because he's for that bullshit, man. Typical boomer logic. Bunch of morons, man. All generations are morons in degree, even mine's. And there's some good people in every generation, but you got a lot of bitch ass niggas from boomers into mines into Z's now. That's what you're gonna have. It's always gonna be that way. You gotta say history. Most generations ain't shit. Shouts was really say that. He said the original Gen Xers is really the boomers. And original boomers is the silent generation. They just reversed it. I'm gonna do some research on that and see if that's true, what he was saying. We said that off air and we conversated about that. That's embarrassing. BGS shows his hand. I already knew he was a fuck up, but you know, I entertained his bullshit content for a while, and then I said, man, fuck that nigga, man. He is what he is. I don't think dudes know the definition of introspective when it comes to be ignore. It's all based on the person's thoughts and feelings. It has nothing to do with facts. Exactly. So basically, they champion BGS based off his thoughts and feelings, not facts. Exactly. It's emotions. That is not, it's not logical. It's a bunch of bullshit. If you actually study utilitarianism, I can tell you what it is. It's the greatest happiness or the greatest number. It's not black pill. And Cerulean told me this. It is blue pill behavior, which it is. Both societies, I hate to say this, and I think Mrs. Z is correct. He should just call it blue pill utilitarianism. Blue pill utilitarianism exists for a reason. Everybody wants this fake balance bullshit. And that's what's hurting people, especially black men, especially these niggas. That's why they traveling ass backwards and pissing in the wind. And this nigga BGS try to say, well, there is a such thing as a black pill utilitarian. He was saying that one time. He said that on one of his videos. Like, come on, man. This nigga said off the wall shit. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was trying to tell that story. This nigga be on off the wall shit and it's hilarious. Ain't nobody listening to that nigga. The next thing you know, he'll say some intellectual shit and then there'll be drama and arguing about pussy. Next. What else these niggas talk? They ain't talking about nothing. Old niggas ain't got no life no more. Old niggas. I'm somewhat of an old nigga, but I'm getting older. I'm not an old nigga. I don't act like that. Nobody listen to them niggas. It's a handful of me listening to me right now on the playback and live right now. But you got niggas like this, that's 60 plus, going on 70. He'll be 70 in 2028 and I'll be 40. That's an age difference, damn it. He'll be 70, I'll be 40. He's around my parents' age. And he's a fucking loser, man. Get the fuck out of here. I don't care if he got a fucking scholarship. He's still a fucking loser. I know a lot of losers that have scholarships and ain't doing shit with them. Let's just keep real. Y'all ain't successful. Most successful people kill people and put them in caskets and shit. They run the military-industrial complex. Let's get real here. They run the planet, not these intellectual idiots. Unless you're a goddamn scientist. Unless you're a scientist. These powerful universities. But controlled by the military-industrial complex. We ain't gonna get in there. We're gonna leave that alone. Because they controlled by these Masonic beasts that they are. Idolatrous, by the way. Don't care about nothing. But you got niggas co-sign that. Like BJ, they co-sign that shit. His followers are delusional, narcissistic sheep. About to get their heads knocked off. They're sheep. They're dummies. Got inflated egos. Pissing on themselves trying to get some pussy, but they ain't getting nothing. Come on, man. Nah, he ain't been on YouTube 20 years. That nigga's a loser, man. That nigga's a loser. At least I live off off this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't be YouTube's a hobby. I don't be on it like a while. That's why I'm cutting back on live streams, and I won't do that next year to start pre-recording. But I will do these type of live streams just to talk to y'all. That's the only ones I will do. And I'll probably pick one just for one day to do those panel streams, so-called streams, or a non-panel stream. I'll do that. I'll do that. BGS be on that bullshit. That's what niggas he be on that bullshit to try to imitate Charles. And no, nigga, you on that bullshit, nigga. Nobody listen to your ass. Only time they listen to you if you have something to talk about that stupid Monahan report, which is a bunch of nonsense, man. Come on, who cares about the Monahan report? Like, dude was a racist. Come on, man. Like, and he tried to say utilitarianism is black pill. No, it's not, motherfucker. Like Cerulean said, he told me this off air, privately, publicly. He said it's blue pill. And it is. And I believe it now. That's why I did it. That's why I did those pre-records towards him, because he tried to bring the black pill ideologies with nihilism and utilitarianism. That made me do more content. I was trying to respond to what he mean by that. And then I did the research what utilitarian is. It actually created liberalism. Yeah, most of y'all don't know John Stuart Mill's wife created feminism through a man. Actually, John Stuart Mill and his wife created feminism, the concept. But it's a utilitarian concept, what feminism is, not what it is today. I don't know what this is today. That's not feminism. That's some bullshitism. Feminists are mostly utilitarian by default. They don't care about nothing but themselves, all the women. And deep down, they ain't getting nothing off the plate. So put them two together. I study that shit, man. Like, when I talk about utilitarianism, I look at the tenets of the concepts when they talk about happiness, this, happiness, and that. He ain't gonna retire. He's a clown, man. Man's gonna waste his way away. They said, we love BGS. We love BGS. We love BGS. You know what I'm saying? We love BGS. We love BGS. Niggas is so dumb. Now, if y'all subscribe, that's cool, you know, but I don't fuck with that nigga. He's a clown. O'Shea, aka O'Slayer, like I used to call, he act like he want a slave business, but this dude is. One thing I can say about him, he walked away from it. I have to give him that. He tapped out immediately. Satan Center's another clown. He tapped out too. I mean, he got O'Shea, and it was back and forth. But you know, but Duke the Dog, I know he nut rides for O'Shea. He's a mindless follower, but Duke is cool. He's a good content creator. I'm neutral with him. But O'Shea don't give a fuck about you, Duke. I'm gonna tell you a secret, Duke. He just care about himself. He don't care about you, Duke. If you're ever watching this, but he don't care about your ass. The Enigma, the Anchorman's a fuck nigga. We already know that with the beard and all that. He's a fraud. We don't fuck with niggas like that. And especially goddamn Oblivion. I cannot stand him. Excuse me. The cripple Oblivion. CO. I'm gonna call him CO from now on. The cripple. Mr. Oblivion. Not Obsidian. Cripple Oblivion. That man's a cripple. He walked with a cane, man. Come on, stop it. We cooked that nigga 2 years ago when they went down here. Just losers, man. Mike V, everybody, we cooked them niggas, man. Shouts out to Jay Sean. We cooked them niggas. We tell them niggas, stop whining and go outside, man. Get some pussy. Or practice your skills. But they ain't got that. That's why these young men are fucked up out here. That's why they end up being called predators or child molesters or terrorists. It's gonna be a dangerous year and next year and beyond because this culture. I ain't gonna be. I tell you, I warned you. Warned you. I'll do it in recording form each year. Because I'm gonna be live streaming less and less. If I ever have a family, whatever, I'm gonna be off this shit. Period. YouTube ain't gonna last forever. This shit can shut down any day. I'm trying to tell you, get prepared for this wasteland culture. We in Fallout country now. America wants to be Fallout. They want to create a weird corporation gonna nuke ourselves, and then they are trying to blame it. The Chinese did it. They did it. They ain't this shit. Getting slaughtered next, and then lose half they. Come on. North Korea's building nukes. Everybody's got nukes. Americans got way more nukes than anybody. According to Young Turks, they said we got over 14 million or more nukes than that. We got to stop this lie, man. Like, do the research. And they should say China's got nukes. China ain't got shit. They got a couple of nukes, but they ain't a lot. And most of them probably ain't there. It's probably ours. Probably kept. We ain't gonna go there. CIA probably watching. This nigga don't you know. It's just like, yeah, man. Yeah, they been the bully. They lie so damn much. But I appreciate Bethesda games. Like I played Rage 1 and 2, and that's the one thing that's my favorite series from them, the Rage series. But that Fallout series, I like that too. And I'm glad I'm playing this Fallout 4. And this game is intriguing. You can pick any factions except the Gunners and the Raiders you can from Nuka War. That's the DLC. You can kill off the Raiders in open season, or you can work with each one, pick which Raider gang you're gonna control, and kill the other two off, just like they did in the main story. That's basically what it is. It ain't much. The perks are nice. I still got one of the perks from Gage. After killing them and killing all, you still keep some of the perks. You don't get all the perks, but you still get his perk and all that. Yeah, it's for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. All platforms. You can still. I got the Game of the Year edition on Xbox. It's good on Xbox. On PC, you can mod for free. But my advice: don't mod on the console. It'll fuck your save up. I do know that. On both consoles, do not mod. I recommend modding on the PC. If I want a game that has some mods, I would definitely do Fallout, especially number 4, number 3, all of them. Fallout 4 has got the best mods. That's it. It's one of my top 3 Fallout series, and I started liking it last month when I was doing these recordings. That character was a military guy, but the factions they give you to pick is Minuteman, Railroad, and I believe the Brotherhood of Steel. Them groups is violent, but you can be a raider in the DLC form, and you also can join any group in Far Harbor. It could be Far Harbor Group, Children of Adam. My guy's in Children of Adam. He's got those little perks. The Inquisitor of Adam, right? Or you can support Arcadia the Sims. That game is very, very well versed. Let's just keep it that way. I'm gonna try Vegas next. I like Vegas. I'm gonna try Vegas next. Hey, APT. If you keep playing it for a minute, you'll appreciate the game. It's time consuming, but that's a game you want to keep around. And have your other games you just go through. That's what I'm gonna do. If I get a newer Xbox, I'm gonna get the games that I always play and some newer ones, and then Fallout 4 and then all the Fallout series. I just found a first-person game that does everything. And then you got some the third person have role playing. Those are my palette list for Xbox. If PlayStation is gonna be simple, it's gonna be titles. If I ever get one, it's gonna be titles. It ain't gonna be the same games. I'll tell you that right now. I'm gonna have my GTAs and Saints Rows, yes, but I'm also gonna have Fallouts and the Mafia games. That's it. That's all I play. I don't play that much. But that Fallout series, Rage, it's my Rage 1 and 2. Shit. Bethesda's got some good games. They ain't perfect. They got Skyrim and all that, but Bethesda's not bad. I don't hate Bethesda that bad. That's a company that's decent. They ain't perfect. They'll fix your shit. And they deal with all platforms. So they let you mod. Stop it. That company is decent. They better than Rockstar. Rockstar's worse. They done fell off. Shouts out to Cutthroat Baller. He broke it down to me. I subscribed to his channel. He said they don't give a fuck about the players, man. I miss them old video game days. Them days is dead though. I was listening to Cutthroat Baller, man. That dude, he's got like 13,000 subscribers, man. His channel is lit. He's entertaining. He's talking about artillery is awful. Yeah, it can be, but I'm building settlements in this game with that save, and I name my character Phil, but the other character, I'm gonna name him something else. I might name him Nate. I might name him something else. But that nigga is a military person. The next time I play Fallout 4, I want to have this two same files, and the other one's gonna be military, and one's gonna be non-military. His clothing will be non-military, but he's gonna have some shit. Trust me, he gonna have some shit. That dude is solid. It's just it's what you want in the game. It's what you want, you know. It's what you want. But there's a lot of builds you can do with the character too. But Fallout 4, I've been addicted to that since last month. That game is woo, it's time consuming. I should never play the DLCs first, but I'm almost finished with the game. I may be finished it real soon and get it out the way. Man, that game is something else. I've never played a fun game that had all the role playing abilities and all that other shit. That shit is timeless. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, but yeah, man, enablers are winning in these so-called spaces, man. They already took over. I told y'all this 2 years ago. It's over, man. Like it's ball game. Shouts out to everybody, man. APT, man, keep doing your thing, keep doing your content. Y'all subscribe to him, man. His channel is thriving. He getting them back. Shouts out to Degenerate. Yeah, it's been a minute, man. Yeah, I've been pretty cool. Shouts out to Cool Art Dude. He's all right. He's solid in the chat. Shouts out to you, man. Appreciate you coming through. Came through. Tampa, man, keep doing your content. Don't worry about these niggas, man. Just do you, man. Hey, do you, man. Do you. Don't worry about the wild shit. Just keep on that word, man. You be all right. These niggas, they gonna be in the casket real soon because they make the wrong one. These niggas don't like each other. It just they act like hoes in real life. They ain't about that life. And I'm gonna continue listening to the Billionaire Mindset because they got a great channel. It's fun, a little educational, balanced. He talks about what it is, and Nate has a different style of content. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be over there with Nate from now on, and a few other content creators. That's it, and of course APT of always. He's always loyal. This dude, he'll be all right. Keep doing his thing. Hey, go against who you want to go against. I'm gonna stay out of it. I'm gonna stay out the way. I ain't picking no sides. Hell, y'all niggas gonna fight it out. Do what you do. God of Gameism, Cuda, man, you gotta chill out, man. That PPTism is hurting you, man. That Q8, that's holding you back. I say it's about three things that's holding him back. It's pretty simple. He's got the talent. He just refused to acknowledge this shit ain't gonna work. Just do your music, man, and do your podcast. And, you know, you want to do a relationship vibe, that's fine. You want to hang with them, I'm not gonna tell him to change content. Just do the tech shit. He's got it, but they don't take him serious. Like if he's in that audio world with what's his name, Bandrew, invest in that nigga. Hell, I want to see that. I see a nigga go in a white man's space and well, Edomite space, but I want to see that shit. But he never promotes it. He likes the bullshit. So that's his thing, and that's why Red's on his head. And if he ain't careful, she may get 2,000 subscribers. That's my prediction. If she surpassed me, go ahead. I ain't mad. I ain't mad. Some women channels are growing. I said it. Nate said it. I said it. But he was doing too much. But anyways, I'm gonna get off here and get back what I was doing. But I'll see y'all this Thursday. But check out that recording with the Indos Valley. That's gonna be 8:15. I dropped that just today, so y'all can hear it tomorrow, and then the next day I'm gonna do the Thursday. We gotta talk about some shit about these individuals, man, and pick up our summary with the screenshots. It's a one-time thing for Thursday. Thursday we ain't gonna talk. We're just gonna go off the dome. But this week we gotta go back to the old screenshots, and currently we have fallen. Gotta talk about it, man. So with that, signing off, and I'm out. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day, and shalom.